Bad at what you ask? Well, let's find out here at
Master Magic!
Pump up the jank!
Welcome dudes to dads and folks of every flavor. Alright, let's talk about the new commander bracket system. Is it a flawless way to categorize decks by power? Nope, but it does not want to be that. But is it actually useful for finding like-minded players and making pre-game talks easier? Yeah, kinda. Let's break it down. The first issue with the bracket system is that power level in Commander is not a simple scale. A deck's strength depends on synergies, meta, and even the pilot's decisions. Just because a deck has a bunch of strong cards doesn't mean it plays at the same level as a finely tuned cEDH list, for example. Nor does adding a demonic tutor in your precon make it high power. But the bracket system tries to fit everything into 5 neat little boxes. That's just not exactly how Commander works. So when people try to use these brackets as definitive power rankings based on only the game changer and bracket checklists, things can get messy. But let's not forget, before this system the power level discussions were all over the place too. Many different players, content creators, playgroups and forums had their own take on what a 5 or a 7 out of 10 deck looks like, and many salt mines lay depleted now because of these inconsistencies. So here's the thing. The bracket system isn't actually trying to be a perfect power level sorter. What it does is give us a shared language for finding people who want the same kind of game. The list of game changer cards and the checklists for every brackets are here to give us a feeling for what is seen as okay on each level of play and not as hard rules on what is strictly allowed or forbidden in a pot of a certain bracket. By naming some examples of high power cards and play patterns that can cause bad feelings when encountered unexpected, these lists serve as a common reference point for all players when rating their own decks beforehand and talking about them with others, be it in a pre-game conversation or just out in the wilds. The full-length description of each bracket is also very, if not even more important, to help you figure out what kind of vibe you and your deck should bring to the table of the according bracket. The brackets don't tell you how strong your deck actually is, they just help you to find players who are on the same wavelength. You want a chill slow game? Bracket 1 or 2. You're down for optimized cEDH play? Bracket 5. Don't have the urge to play very competitive for tournaments but still with higher power? Bracket 4 should suit you well. Again, the goal isn't an individual deck power rating, it's the experience, the playstyle, the vibe you're looking for. Now, let's be clear. The bracket system is not a replacement for Rule Zero. It's a tool to make starting and having your pregame and Rule Zero conversations easier. You still need to have that pregame talk, but instead of fumbling with I think my deck is like 6ish out of 10, you can say, hey, I usually play around bracket 3. Boom! Easier conversation starter, smoother matchmaking. After all, Commander is a casual social format, and the new Commander format panel is not wanting to change that by regulating strictly what can be done and what not. Talking to your fellow players is the key for everybody having a good time, and if everybody at the table is okay with it, even things like playing some game changers in lower brackets or having a Mass Land Denial card to help you close out the game on the spot in bracket 3 is possible. There is no what's the SWAT team that bursts in your door if your group wants to do things a little different or don't use the brackets at all. The brackets just can help new players and those playing outside their usual play groups to find the right table faster. So yeah, if you're trying to use the bracket system to perfectly rank a deck's actual power level, you're gonna have a bad time. But if you use it to find players who match your style of play, it will actually work pretty well. Just remember, it's a tool, not a rule, and Rule Zero, that's still king. So, what do you think? Have you tried the Commander bracket system yet? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to cast a like, tap that subscribe button and trample that bell. Thanks, and see you at the jank pile.